Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome to the Master Oops Above session day number 11. Today we are going to learn very important concept, that is design patterns. We will be learning what is design patterns, what is the use of design patterns, what are the different types of design patterns, and today we are going to deep dive into the singleton design pattern, which is one of the most frequently and most important design pattern which you will come across in day-to-day requirement if you want to use the object-oriented way of coding. Again, one thing can be achieved in many different ways. It is not necessary to use the singleton design pattern, but yes, if you are going to use the singleton design pattern, your development will become robust. Okay. So keeping these things in mind, we are going to learn singleton design pattern, starting with design patterns. But before going ahead, let's have a quick recap what we have done in our last class. In last class, we have seen what is the events with parameter. We have seen how we can register the event using the keyword called set event handler. We can register a single object or multiple object in one go as well. We have seen how we can deregister the event using the keyword activation space or activation above false. So these are the important stuff we have seen, and I have given you one assignment, this particular, just to understand the concept of event. And I believe not all, but most of you would have completed. I will be giving some more time trying to complete this one. Or if you need any help, do let me know. We have taken this particular example, and one thing I was not able to discuss called the sender concept. Here you can see that sender was missing in our last class. I was not able to show you how, what is the use of sender, this particular keyword. So let me give you an idea what is going to do this keyword. So you can see that this is a event handler method. Bark is a event handler method. So in event handler method, you can define the sender, and you know that event can be present in different class and event handler method can be there in the different class. Okay. So if you put the sender edition over there, simply you have to write sender, SENDER. And what that sender keyword will do, that it will tell you from where that event had been raised. So that's the beauty of this sender keyword. Okay. So hope you got the idea. I will show you in practical as well. Okay. Then these are the stuff, right? For all instances, addition is only valid for instance event. These are some stuff which we have already seen. In order to register multiple instances in one go, then just I have put up these, and these are the different between the instance event and static event, right? So we have seen this part also, and these are again the syntax. Just I have put it over here for your reference, and now I think we are good to start. So let me log in into SAP logon over here, and I will quickly show you the sender. It's a very simple one. We will quickly get it, and then we will go for the design pattern. So in last session, we created this particular event, right? This is the event. So sender concept we can use for the purpose of what? Getting the reference of, you know, the class which is triggering the event. Okay, so you can see just I have put it sender over here. Let me check the syntax, and some error is there. Formal parameter sender does not exist, right? Importing event underscore times, it looks good. Methods public section, this is the event handler, correct? Let me check some syntax part we are missing it over here. So this is methods of class this importing im underscore event and then the sender whipping for event, that is fine. Okay, so what's wrong over here? Formal parameter sender does not exist. Okay, class event type int one, just I'm checking where I'm doing mistake and trying to correct. And here also in the class event, let me do one thing, that is the static, this is the static event. So let me try to put it the instance event and see. However, it should not create, it should work for both. Okay, but just I'm checking. Check the syntax over here. Now also it's not taking, right? Hit the dog, that is fine, hit the dog. Just remove this one. Check this. Yeah, it seems like it is okay. And just put this, check this. Okay, so I got it. So what's the problem? You can see that sender here, for the events, if it is a class events, then the sender is not working, right? So that's fine. That is the limitation. Just I'm able to recollect. See here, we have uh, you know, notes also somewhere. I put that notes. So here sender is only possible in case of instance method and instance event. See here, for all instances edition is only valid for instance event, that is fine. And sender is only possible in case of instance method and instance events. It is not supporting the class events, right? A static event. So let me put it this part also. Instance events it is supporting, and I will now show you. Check it over here, and I will activate this one, activate this, and just put anywhere the breakpoint. Okay, press F8, give some value over here, press F8, and go F5. So this is the hit the dog, and when you are going to reach the event, it will call to bark, right? So it will go to bark, and in bark, what we have defined, the sender we have it defined. So from where it is getting called, that it will give you the idea. Okay, so if you just give this sender, you can see that how nicely it's telling from where it is getting triggered, this particular method. So which class is this one, from where it is getting triggered? This one, right? You can see that raise event I'm writing inside cl underscore main. So here you will be able to see that cl underscore main is the class from where that event is raised. So sometimes you may require from where actually that event is coming, and accordingly you might have to take the action. So for that, this concept is required. Okay, so if it is clear for you, just write here capital Y in the chat box. So already recording I have started, fine. Okay, thank you. So you got this. Now let's go and discuss about very important concept about the design pattern. What is design pattern? What do you understand from design pattern? Okay, design pattern. How will you define the design pattern? So design pattern, generally, in a very simple term, it is defined as, you know, it's the solution of common problem. Okay, it's the standard solution of common problem. In a very simple terminology, if you want to define this one, it is, you know, a standard solution of common problem. Okay, so there can be any types of common problem. For example, if you have to create the objects based upon your requirement, then we will go for factory design pattern, right? If you have to create only one object during the lifetime of a class, during the lifetime of a program, then we will go for singleton, right? If you want to make your class compatible with another class, then you will go for adapter design pattern, right? So there can be different types of common problem. If you just give a search here in the Google, that what is design pattern, design patterns in wiki, okay, and let's see the definition what it's telling. Mm, I think I'm not at the right page. Design patterns definition. Yeah, so here you can see that in software engineering, a software design pattern is a general reusable solution to a commonly occurring problem within a given context in a software design, right? So it's a general reusable solution to a commonly occurring problem. So this is the important point. You have it over here, right? So I'll just put it. So this is what you have, the definition of a design pattern, right? It is a standard solution of common problem. Simply we can tell this also, that's fine. Now there are many different types of design pattern and different types of, categories of designs comes into picture. What are those categories? So one is creational design pattern, right? One is creational. Second is behavioral design pattern. Okay. So similarly, we are having three types of different design pattern, right? Creational, behavioral, structural, like that. So here I have categorized all those things. You can see that three design patterns: creational design pattern, structural design pattern, and behavioral design pattern. In creational, the meaning of this, like when you want to create the object of a class, then what are the different types of design pattern we can come across? So you can see the singleton, very powerful design pattern. Factory we have already seen, right? If you have to create the object of different class based upon some condition, then the factory design pattern comes into picture. Then combination of single and factory, kind of hybrid solution of, mixture of both. Singleton factory design pattern, object pool prototype design pattern. This is basically we use when you have to create a clone of an object, okay, because object will be always referring to another, a memory location, and if you want to create just a copy of object, how we can do? So that's where this prototype design pattern comes into picture. Then abstract factory design pattern, this will create the instance of several family of classes, right? So just I'm going to give you the glimpse over here, right? And here structural design pattern, here you have the adapter design pattern, right? Just you are making compatible one class with another class, of course in terms of methods, right? And you are, means you will be creating some sort of wrapper. However, day to day in your development you will be using this adapter design pattern. You might be not knowing this term, but knowing or unknowingly you will be using. Let's suppose if you have to make compatible your, you know, function module, right, with another program or another place from where you want to call, and you want to have some certain parameters, right? Or you don't want to change your standard program, you want to a standard function module or a standard program, right? And in that case, what you will do, you will create a wrapper function module and you will put a standard function module inside that. And if you want to write some extra logic, that you can write it over there. So that's nothing but a kind of adaptive design pattern, right? You are going to adapt the changes by creating the wrapper function module. So here, the same thing, same concept we are applying for class, right? Breeze design pattern. Then you have composite, decorator, facade design pattern, right? Flyweight, proxy design pattern, MVC. So again, like in the behavioral, you can see that lot of different design patterns. All these design patterns, it is not covered inside this course to complete, but I have created the content for all these design patterns. What I will do, I will share, you know, all these design pattern, and I will give you the access for those design patterns for some certain period of time on my LMS, and SAP ER team will be sending you the link, and you can just go and register and you can learn all this if you want to learn. However, in this course, whatever the important one, like Singleton factory already we covered, right? And few more design patterns I have planned to cover, like MVC. This is again frequently used one, right? So this at least I will be covering and I will be showing you, which is very commonly and very frequently used design pattern. Fine. So this, yeah, something like that, even more than that, 21 also we can have the design pattern, right? More than, there is no like fixed, but generally these are the, when we talk about the design pattern, these are the design pattern comes into picture. And alternatively also, if you want to learn, you know, the design pattern, what you can do that, you know, here you can go to, and there is a very good website called G-Volving, created by Naimesh Patel. Okay, G-Volving OO ABAP by Naimesh Patel. So if you just go and here, you will get lot of good content about the design pattern, and you can learn from here. If you're facing some issue, you know, in understanding this, you can refer to the video for that corresponding design pattern which I have created. So let me show you here. I think I'm not on the right page. The evolving OOPSABAP design pattern. Just give it here itself. Design pattern. Yeah. So see, he has covered almost all the design pattern nicely. A proxy, prototype, singleton, redesign, right? Here, facade, right? So here, let me take you through the overview of singleton. I will be discussing in very much detail. It is to have the single object during the lifetime of a program, right? Only to make sure that you are going to have the single object of a class. That's where the singleton comes into picture. We'll be discussing more about this. MVC, model view controller, right? So model view controller, very frequently used design pattern. We are going to discuss this also, right? If you know about the UI5 framework, right? String, hibernates, all these framework are based upon the model view controller design pattern. Then decorator. Decorator, you know, decorator, something if you want to decorate, right? Decorator is related with decoration. If you want to put some extra stuff in already existing stuff, something like that, right? So decorator pattern gives us flexibility to extend the behavior of certain objects at a runtime. This is the important. Gives us flexibility to extend the behavior of certain objects. Okay. Factory we have seen, right? To produce the object. Observer design pattern. The intent behind the observer design pattern is to define a dependency between objects so that when main object changes its state, all the dependent objects are notified, right? So for example, if you have something is going to change in the weather situation, right? If temperature of a particular location is going to be high by 5 degrees. So you are going to notify each and every city automatically, or all the applications, that okay, temperature has been changed by 5 degrees, or raining, it's going to rain, something like that. If some event is going to happen and if you want to notify to the related objects, that's where the observer design patterns comes into picture. Abstract factory, again it's factory, abstract factory, something like factory, but in simple factory we are having the single class to instantiate. Here in abstract factory you can have the family of classes which we can instantiate. So nicely explained in my the video which I'm going to share, because all these design patterns will take 1 hour or 2 hours to explain, to showcase the demo and all. So this design pattern itself would have taken 21 days or more than that even to cover. So that's why that is a separate course itself that I have covered and I will be sharing with you. That is a part of previous course basically, and that was a very long course, so that I will take it and I will share with you for some certain period of times, and you can learn if you want to go deeper inside the object oriented design pattern. Okay, so then object oriented design pattern decorator, we have I've shown you, right? The facade design pattern, let's look out one of the example here. The example they are talking about, facade, this is very this is again like one popular design pattern, right? Adapter design pattern. Okay, and similarly iterator design pattern, composite, from name also you will get some idea, right? Composite, mixture of some multiple classes. Iterator, iterator, whenever iterator comes into picture, loop will come into picture. How it is known, everything I will share you that, and please go through that over. You will get the idea. Let's go into the singleton design pattern. Okay, come here, and here singleton design pattern. What is this singleton design pattern and why it is so popular? See, singleton is made up of, if you see here, singleton is made up of single plus ton, right? Single meaning already single means one, and ton means instance. So if you want to have a single instance during the lifetime of a program always, then we will go for singleton design pattern. It will make sure that you will be always having the same object of that particular class. Singleton design pattern will make sure that you will have always single object of a particular class. The class on which you will apply the singleton design pattern, okay, will be known as what? Singleton class. So the class which will follow the singleton design pattern, that class will be known as the singleton class. And singleton design pattern, you understood that it will make sure that you will be always having the single object of a particular class. Any class, it can be any class, right? Now I will show you first the concept and then I will show you the real-time use case. Okay, done? Is it okay for you? First, let's understand the concept. Directly, if we'll go into the real time, it will create a mess. So first, better, let's go and understand the concept with a simple example. So let's suppose you are writing a program over here. You are writing a report. Okay. ZOO ABAP demo singleton, something like that. Okay. And in this report, you want to create the big report you are having, right? And you want to create object 1, you want to create object 2, you want to create object 3 of a class. But what you want to make sure all these objects should refer the same memory location or same instance. Basically, what I'm trying to tell this, all these objects should be same. It should not be the different object. Okay, that's the basic idea over here. Whenever you want to create, let's suppose your class name is this one, ZCLOO ABAP Singleton. Let's suppose this is your class name, and you want to create object of this particular class, and you want to design your class in such a way that even if you do any kind of mistake, you won't be able to create another object of this class. It will always create a single object, the same object. Whatever you do, by any way you put anything, it will give you always the same object, same object, same object. So how to achieve that? Basically, how to achieve that? So for example, let's suppose here I'm having one program. Come over here, 11, and give the singleton. Singleton demo. So singleton demo, in this, what basically I'm trying to tell you that, let's go and create one class first. Okay, ZCL underscore singleton or O ABAP singleton. Click on this create button, singleton. Save it, save it, save it. Activate this. So just I have created one class over here, right? Without any method and all, just name of the class. And here, I'm creating the object. Okay, here I'm creating the object. So just quickly using the new syntax over here, New syntax, old syntax, based upon your choice, what you want to do. Data obj2 equals to new. So here you can see, if you observe, different object I'm creating over, right? Here I'm creating the different object. My requirement is not this, right? If you check the syntax and activate this, activate and put the breakpoint over here. Press F8. If you check it over here, object one, see object one is what you have, this. Okay. Second objective, see here, object two, what you have, this one you have. And third object, see this one you have. Can you see over here itself, can you see this object is different than this object? Because here you have 9, here you have 8, here you have 7. That means it's referring to the same class, but the memory location is different, right? It is referring to the same class, but memory location is different, because 7, 8, 9. If it would have been same everywhere, either it will be 9, everywhere it should be 999 or 777 or 888. Same object means that number should be everywhere same, means it should always refer the same memory location, same object. It should always refer the same object. That's what I want to achieve. And that can be achieved using the what? Singleton design pattern. Very good. That we can achieve using the singleton design pattern. Currently you can see that it's giving you the different object. How we can achieve that? That's the question, right? So to achieve that, you can see that this particular stuff we should not be able to do like this, right? Why I'm able to do like this? Because this class is the public class, right? This class is the public class, so I'm able to create one object here, one object here, one object here. So singleton design patterns tells you, even by mistake you will not be able to create the different object. So you can see that I can do this mistake. How I can avoid this mistake? Anyone? What should I have to do in order to avoid this mistake? Any guesses? I'm now moving towards the singleton. To achieve the singleton, to very good, Sandeep telling private. Yes, very good. So this class should be private, then only I will be able to avoid this mistake. So let's go and put this class as a private class. Super. So come here and put this class as a private class. Click on this save button and activate it. Now that mistake is gone. But if you check here, it will start giving you the error, right? It will tell that you will not be able to create the object. Now, how you can create the object if your class is private? What you have to do in that case, you have to create the object using the method. Okay, you have to create the object using the method. So here you have to create one method, create singleton. I'm just giving the name of the method as create singleton. Okay, and can you tell me, because your class is private, what kind of method it should be, so that you can call it from this particular program to create the object? Any idea? Very good. Static, correct? Good, awesome. It should be static. So here you have to mark it static, right? And what should be the visibility, so that you can call it from this particular program, right? It should be private or public? It should be public. Very good. Not private, because if you put private, you will not be able to call it from there, right? So it should be public. Hope other people also are able to understand. Now, in this, we are going to write the logic. Okay, we have to write the logic to create the object. So how we can write the logic to create the object? You know, we will first define one parameter for this particular method, which will create the object and return back, right? So put one parameter also, parameter, and it can be exporting parameter, returning parameter, anything, but generally we use here as a returning parameter. Okay, exporting also you can have, there is no problem. For exporting, see what is exporting parameter and what is returning parameter. I will tell you the basic difference. Returning parameter you can have only one in a method. Okay, returning parameter will be always passed by value. Okay, so these are the only two things. So if you see here, you have importing parameter we have already used, right? Exporting parameter already we have used. Changing we know it is same as a changing as we have seen. Returning we have not used as of now. Only the difference between this returning and exporting, returning only one returning parameter you can have in a method, and this will be always passed by value. Other thing, everything same. Okay, so for singleton design pattern static method, you can use exporting or returning. Anything is fine. Just selecting returning over here and give the parameter over here EO singleton. Okay, EO singleton. This is the parameter which will give you the object of singleton class. For which class I want to create the object? I want to create the object of this class. So give the reference of this class over here. And in typing method, if you see that type ref2, you have to select. Till here, it's clear. Just write capital Y if you are able to understand, or just write capital N if you are not understanding. Okay, so that I will explain you, or you can also connect me with me after this class. Okay, if any doubt, anything is there, you feel free to connect. Hmm? Very good. So type ref2 I have done. Now go to the source code, means method body, and here I will write the logic. What logic I will write? If EO underscore singleton. See here, one more stuff you will require. You know, here one more stuff you will require. But let me go step by step. You can create what? You can create the object of EO singleton, right? EO underscore singleton. And once you create the object of EO underscore singleton, this where you are, it will be automatically passed back, right? Getting the point. So now let me do one thing. Activate this one, activate, and here also put the breakpoint. And now what you can do, that you can call now that static method, create singleton, right? And this static method is going to return this. So one another advantage of using the returning parameter is that you can use like this, you know, whatever it's going to return, automatically this object one will be declared of that type. In exporting parameter, you won't be able to use like this. In exporting parameter, you can use like this. You'll have to use like this, call method and this and importing, like that you will have to use. Data keyword there also in exporting you can use, right? But syntax will be different. Okay, it will not support like this. You can see that object one I have written at left hand side. So left hand side things here in exporting parameter, it will not allow. So that's the one benefit in a returning parameter, right? And that's why the returning parameter can return only one value, because in this object one at left hand side, you can have only one value at a time, right? So by this way also you can remember why returning parameter, only returns a single value, right? Because it returns the single value, this syntax we can use it easily. Okay, so the same thing I'm going to do now once again. Okay, control D, just comment this object 2 and object 3. Check the syntax, there is no problem. But can you tell me your object 1, object 2 or object 3 will be same or different? Your object 1, object 2 and object 3 will be same or different. Just a guess. What do you think? It will be again different only, right? It will be, because every time it's going to create the different object. So see, pressing F5, it's coming over here in the singleton class in this method, right? And creating the object. And if you see that 9 is over here, right? Let me copy this. And fine, there also, I will be able to show you object 1, right? 9 is there, correct? Here, object 2, you will see that what will happen, EO singleton again. It is what it's creating. This time again, it's creating 8. Earlier it was 9. So it's creating the different object, right? So we have to do some more tweak into this, right? So that it should not create the different object. It is supposed to create the same object. So for that purpose, what I will have to do, I will create the object and put into the global memory of this class, right? So that it will be instantiated only once, right? So I will create one global attribute, right? I will create one global attribute. So let's go and create a global attribute. So go to the attribute and here go underscore singleton. A label. Now tell me what will be its label. Label means either it will be instance or static. You want to use this particular attribute inside the method singleton, which is static, right? Getting the point? So what should be this attribute? This should be a static or what? It should be a static, right? Because you want to use inside the static method. So a static attribute. And visibility, what I will keep the visibility, public or protected or private. It will allow you to choose any visibility, but what we are supposed to put the private. It will be more robust. Why? If you keep it public through the class name and its property using that equal and greater than operator, means I'm talking about this operator, right? I'm talking about this operator, right? You can access this particular attribute and again it can create a mess, right? So better, why not to put the private, right? So we will be putting the private. So come over here and give the visibility private. Now associated type will be what? This is going to have the reference of the same class, right? I'm creating the global attributes to hold the object of the same class, correct? So reference is going to be type ref2, give the type ref2 and same class. Now it's done. Okay, just save it and go to the method once again and you have to create the object. Once you create the object, put into that particular uh, that particular we have created what? Go, right? Go singleton. This object you put inside this, right? And what another things you have to do? you have to do like this. If geo underscore singleton is not initial, or generally in object oriented term we write is not bound, means not instantiated. Okay, bound, what is the meaning of bound? Bound means object has been created, not bound means object has not created. So if geo underscore singleton object is not created, then what you do, you create the object. Okay, and you put into this. So actually this stuff you have to write it over here, and u underscore singleton, you put it over here, right? So if it is not bound, that's meaning of that object is not created, so you have to create and you have to get it back into this exporting parameter. If it is already created, then what you have to do, else you have to do this stuff over here. So this is some sort of simple code. You have to, this logic you have to apply, right? It's a simple logic, right? When you start writing the code, you will understand what actually you have to do, you know, because I'm writing the code, I'm able to understand that why actually we have to avoid multiple instances, right? So for that purpose, what I did, I created one global attribute, and I'm checking if that global attribute is already instantiated or not. If already object is there present, right, then I'm getting the value directly from there. Not bound, not bound means not instantiated, not instantiated. Okay, if it is instantiated, then directly get that global object and put into the exporting parameter. If it is not instantiated, first instantiate then, and then you get it back. So you got this logic, right? Did you understand this logic, what I have written over here? Right, you got it, correct? It's a simple one. Activate this one, and I'll put the breakpoint and I will show you. So now can you tell me, is it going to return the single object every time or multiple object? If you think single, write a S, capital S, or if you think multiple, you write capital M. Very good. It is going to give you the single object, right? So just press F8 and let us see. So object one, now if you go see the very first time what it will happen, it will be initial. So it will create the object and it will return you back, right? So in object one, you can see that it's 9. Second time also it is going to be again 9 only. Okay. So go here, and this time already that global one is present, correct? So it will directly return you back over here. See? So you are getting back again in object 2. In object 2, you are getting in object 2. In object 2, again you are getting the same object. And again similarly for object 3, because already that global attribute, you know, is filled up. So it will give you the same object, right? So once it's instantiated, see every time you are getting the same object, right? And by this way, we are able to achieve the singleton design pattern. So hope you got the idea how we can create the singleton design pattern, right? Very good. You got the concept of singleton design pattern. Now in interview, very frequently ask this question. Interviewer will ask you, what is the singleton design pattern? He will ask, what is the use of singleton design pattern? he will tell the methods which you are going to create to achieve the singleton design pattern will be static or public or private or what. So you understood, right? The class should be private, method should be static, right? Attribute should be private and what, static, correct? Why attribute should be static? Because method is static and that attribute we have to use inside the a static method, so that must be a static only. So these are the basic things which you should be able to remember. So if you understand the concept, it's very easy to remember, otherwise you will forget, you will not be able to remember the steps. However, I have put up the steps over here. Okay, define the class as a private, steps to create the singleton design pattern, right? Define the class as a private, define the method with public and static with a returning parameter. You can have export parameter also, okay? But just I put it over here, returning parameter. Define the attribute of type ref to the same class, private static, right? Write this particular logic, right? There I have used not bound, here I have used bound simply, right? But the code if and else will be reverted back, because here I'm using bound and there I'm using not bound, right? So this is, right? Because if condition here I'm using not bound, so if you are going to use the bound over here, then this piece of code will come here and this piece of code will go here, right? Bound means instantiated. Bound means instantiated. This is the meaning of bound. Okay. Else means not instant. So this is what you will have to, just you have to change the code also if the condition you are going to change. So in this you are already expert, right? Fine. Now the real-time use case of the singleton design pattern. Do you want me to bring on, do you want me to bring it on the use of singleton design pattern? If yes, you type BIO, bring it on the real-time use case of singleton design pattern. Very frequently used design pattern, real-time use of singleton design pattern. Singleton design pattern. So a very good use case of this is a logger class. What is this logger class? On internet you will get a lot of the use case of singleton design pattern. One of is this, you will get logger class, or in real time also you'll have to use this logger class. Logger class is basically, it is basically to capture the log. Okay, so let me directly jump into the system and I will singleton use case. Okay, click on this create button. Singleton use case using logger class. Type executable program, save here, save. Okay, and now logger class. So it will be used to log the application log. It can any kind of log, the log, what's the meaning of log, right? So let's have a simple use case over here. Let's suppose you have a class called ZCL underscore material. Okay, you have maybe another class called ZCL underscore purchase order. Okay, and whatever activity we're performing in ZCL underscore material, ZCL underscore PO, right? That activity you want to log, and these classes are getting called from a report. Okay, this is getting called from a report. So for the same report, for the same report, you know, so from this report you are passing the material, right? And from this report you are passing the purchase order, and you were doing some stuff in this purchase order. Maybe you want to fetch some data for the purchase order. When you are passing the material related stuff, you want to fetch the data of material. So let's suppose get material, you have a get material detail. You have this method, and here you have the get PO detail. Okay, so this is the method you have. Okay, so let's quickly go and create. So come here /nsc24 zcl or abap material. Okay, I think already I have created in some previous classes. Let's see. Get material instance public, that's fine. It's okay. So class constructor, all it is okay. So I will copy this and I will just keep it over here. And I will use this class for my requirement. Get material already we are having, right? Here you can see that get material we are having, that's okay. So now ZCL underscore PO. Come over here and go above PO. This is not there. Let me create quickly. Get PO detail. Save it. Save it. Okay. And just quickly create one method. Get PO detail. Here the label will be instance, or this can be public. So some two normal classes you are having, and here you are writing some code to, you know, get the PO detail. Get the PO detail. Okay. So when you are trying to get the PO detail, of course, you will be having some parameter for which you would like to get the PO detail. EBELN. What is the problem? Okay. It should be the importing parameter. Save it and go to the source code. And here you will put the select query. Select single maybe EBELN and some who has created on, or it can be any different stuff, right? Select single star from EKKO into LSPO, where EBLN equals to IM underscore PL. So if you got successfully size verse equals to 0, then in this case you want to capture the log. Okay, what you want to capture the log? You want to capture the log that particular PO information is successfully retrieved and passed to the report. This you want to, you know, PO information successfully retrieved and successfully retrieved. That's it. PO information successfully. This PO information successfully retrieved. This you want to capture, right? This particular log. Again, in the ZCL OO ABAP material, you are having one class, right? So in this also, let's go and get material. When you got this data successfully, material up to 10 rows, right? So here also, in both the cases, we are able to retrieve. So maybe what I will be doing over there, here, let's say, I want to again capture the log. If psi sub r c equals to 0, right? If psi sub r c equals to 0, and if then I want to capture the log that 10 records got successfully retrieved, something like that. Or maybe the same information you can put it over here. Import parameter here you don't have, right? So what I will do that, okay, or let it be like this, no problem. No issue. So pretty printer. So when the material information got successfully retrieved, I want to tell that capture the log 10 records got successfully received. Just save it and activate this one. Now here what we have to do, we should, you can see that there are two different classes. One is the material class and another is the PO class, right? One is the material class and another is the PO class. What basically we want to do that, we want to capture the log for the same PO and material during the program. Okay, so let's go and write the program. So there, this is the program. And logger class also you have to create. Let's quickly create a logger class. So our logger class will be your Singleton class. So SC24 and ZCL underscore the one, just I have created the Singleton. We can use the same, right? ZCL OO above demo 11 Singleton. Copy this class and ZCL underscore save it, go into change mode. So what it will do, this the logger class is now created. This logger class activate despite errors. What's the error? Let us see what's the error. Instance of this. Okay, copy this and attribute control V method parameters control V. Okay, so logger class I have created now. Activate this one, activate this. Okay, see, even by mistake you will not be able to create outside of the class, right? So here again for this logger class I have created this particular instance, and one more method you will require to capture the log, right? So here maybe capture log. Okay, and to capture this log you can have this instance method, that is fine. So just create the object, you should have a static and public, right? Other thing you can use as a normal. So to capture the log, but again one disclaimer over here, you want to capture the log, right? You want to capture the log and your class is private, right? So instance method will not is not going to work, right? So again you will have to use the static method only and make it public so that you will be able to capture the log. No, that's fine. Instance also you can use. Instance also you can use it over here. Instance public, I will show you. Okay, because you can create the object of this class in program in a different way calling this method, and through that object you will be able to capture the log, right? So instance method is also fine. For your singleton method, the method which is creating the singleton, that must be a static and public. Other than other thing is can be normal. Okay, just save it, and here inside this capture log you can write the logic to capture the log. Write logic to capture the log. So you know how to capture the log, right? You have the three what function module: bal save create, bal save log, bal db save, right? So different function modules you are having uh, in order to capture the log. So first you have to go into slg01. So those things I'm not going to show you. Okay, and here you have to slg0, and here you have to create the object, then sub object, then again you know you have to use the function module uh, bal add message, then bal uh, add save, right? So some sort of steps you have to write in order to capture the log, and that log will be saved into a database. Okay, so that the detailed logic, let's simply, I'm going to write that right over here and just give it message log captured. Okay, log captured. So this log captured for, let's suppose, material. If material you are getting from outside, for material you want to capture the log. So if I am underscore Matner, so here we can define some parameter also, right? Let's go and define the parameter, because we want to capture the log for Matner. So Matner, so all the parameters means all the variables you would require, which you have to pass it over here, which you want to get it over there. And one was underscore PO, importing type EBELN, right? So what basically you want to capture the log. Inside the capture the log, I wanted to capture the log for this am underscore material, that information for material is successfully retrieved. Okay, so if am underscore Matner is not initial, okay, then here we want to log captured for material. What's the material name you have? So let me write it over here using the write statement, or else I will have to use a concatenate and or maybe message ID and all I will need to create. I don't want to do that. So log captured for material, comma, and am underscore Matner, right? So basically here you have to write all the logic, the big code to capture the log. Now if am underscore PO is not initial, in this case again you are going to capture the log captured for PO and give the am underscore PO name. Okay, it will make sense gradually, just observe this what I'm doing, and then you will realize the power of singleton. Okay, so just save it, pretty printers, check the syntax, and what it's telling Matner. Okay, some spelling mistake, F2, and it looks good now. So capturing the log, and we are printing, basically capturing and we are printing. Okay, so now come to that material class. Where is that material class? material. Okay, so get material, and here I wanted to capture the log. So maybe here it will be good to capture the log because single material information here I am retrieving. Okay, single material information here, single material, right? So material, and it looks okay. Let us see if syntax is fine. This is okay, and I want to capture the log. Here the singleton is going to play the role. So you'll have to create the object of what? You have to create the object of singleton class, that the logger class. So create one object of geo underscore logger equals to new, and what it was, the logger class name. Let me close this. Okay, so the logger class name is this one, ZCL OO ABAP logger. Copy this one because you have to now capture the log, right? So I'm creating the and go underscore logger and capture log, right? And here you have the gv underscore material, right? Control V and gv underscore material. Am underscore po is not required over here. Did I put everything mandatory? Is it? Let me put everything optional. Okay, commit over here, and now this is not required. Check the syntax, and now what it's telling. Yeah, you can see that it's the singleton class, so you don't have to use like this. Basically you have to use like this, create singleton, right? So you got it, this one, and the same code basically, copy this. So whenever you are going to capture the log, you are going to use the singleton. Why it is required? Because in the same context, in the same program, right? If you will create the different object, your log will not be valid, right? The log will be different. I will show you in debugging. Okay, so material we have done for. Let's go to the JetOABAP. PO. What we have done? OOABAP underscore PO, I think. Yeah, and come here, go into the change mode, and here. So capture PO information. Here we are passing the IM underscore PO instead of material. What it will do, there also I'm creating the object, and here also I'm creating the object inside the ZCL OABAP PO, right? So if already object is created, it will not again create a new object for you, and instead rather it will give you the same object, and the same object you are going to capture the log. So in this way your data is going to be in sync. Okay, so let me show you in debugging. Check the syntax, some error is there. It looks like data, yes, check it, and if and if activate this. Okay, and once both the log is captured, you can again display the message like log successfully captured, right? Something like that. So this is okay. Now let's go to the program. Class builder, ABAP editor. Parameters p underscore Matner type. Matner, one more parameters p underscore po type EBELN. And what you want to do, that you want to create the object GO underscore material, right? New ZCL. So one constructor is there. Let us see. In that constructor, it looks like some mandatory parameter we are having. Come here while creating the material, okay? So ZCL OABAP demo material. Constructor is there, right? And it is one having parameter im underscore matter. So when you are creating the object, you have to pass that material number. So p underscore matter directly I'm passing. So this way also you can pass, or like this way also you can pass. It all depends on you. Okay. So this material object we have created, and then another object g underscore po equals to new ZCLOO abap. What it was, pure, I think. Demo 11 underscore po. No, demo underscore po. I just missed it. What was the name of that po class? Remember? Okay, let me quickly check it from here. This is OABAP po. Copy this and paste it over here. Here there is no constructor, so nothing is required. Check the syntax. This is fine. And now geo underscore mat, get the material detail, and geo underscore po, get the detail, right? And here in po p underscore po we can find it and see how it's going to have. Check the syntax, activate it over here, and now you can see that the different classes I am using, right? And we are able to capture the log in sync with the help of Singleton class. Let me put the breakpoint and show you. Press F8, give some valid material over here, and PO also I'll be giving some good PO. Run this one, and in this class constructor, that's fine, right? It will go to the constructor now, and now it will for PO, right? There is no constructor, no class constructor, so directly it will come out. So for material and PO, two objects got created, right? Material, get material, come over here, and GV material is 100, size sub RC is 0, right? And if size sub RC is 0, I want to capture the log that material got successfully logged. So here you can see that creating the logger object, and it's creating the object. Logger, you got 178. Remember, second time also you'll get only 178. It will capture the log now. I'm underscore material 800, capturing the log, right? Come back, come back, come back, come back. Now here, PO material now this time got the PO information successfully. Again, this time 178 only it will return. See, geo underscore logger, and it will return 178 only, the same object, right? What's the benefit of same object? Because your log will not mismatched, right? Your log data should be consistent because your program is same, everything is same, right? So your log data should be always consistent. So same object you have to use throughout the class in order to capture the log, and that's where the you know singleton concept is very useful in logging. Not only in logging, in many other cases you will be able to use it. I will give you some more example. Okay, come over here, and im underscore PO is not initial, and here you can see that we are able to capture the log. So log captured for material this, log captured for this. Why? It is in sync, right? It is in sync. And another benefit, like that here also, if you want to do some treatment with that particular if that particular logger class, right? Because the object is going to remain same. Object is going to remain same. So here, if go to the logger class, come here and ZCL underscore O abap demo logger. Yeah. So if you have some attribute, let's suppose, go into the change mode and come over here, geo underscore matner, right? This can be instance, this can be public, give the matner, and let's suppose geo underscore PO. Okay. Here I'm just declaring some global variable, and this EBELN. Just save it, check the syntax, and activate this one. Geo underscore matner, go into the methods, and while capturing the log, right? Somewhere I'm editing, let me go in. Yeah. So, and while capturing the log, what I want to do, gv underscore matner equals to this, and gv underscore PO equals to im underscore matner, and gv underscore PO equals to im underscore PO. So you can see that for the same object, you will be having both will get populated. Sorry, it should be gv underscore matner. Geo is generally we use for object reference. Let me correct this. There should be gv underscore. I just want to have the PO value. That's it, nothing else. Okay. Rename this, check this syntax, activate this. Got activated. So now come here quickly into this class, and now here also, see, here also you can use that, right? Go underscore singleton, and it's going to give you the same object. Even the name is, if you want to keep the name different also, there is no problem. It's going to give you the same, the object. Copy this, and here create singleton and geo underscore singleton. And here also, if you want to capture the log, right? Here also, if you want to capture the log, or if you want to give some message that let's suppose I want to tell it over here that log successfully captured. For I want to just give it here some sort of, I want to print it that log successfully captured for what? Geo underscore singleton and here GV underscore Matner, right? And geo underscore Singleton, right? So like this, we can also use that from there. So if it is captured for material value will be there. If it is captured for PO value will be there. If not, then it will be not. So activate this one and press F8, give this material number, give this dummy PO, run this directly. Okay. And F6, 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 come here. It will be captured. And now you see here that this GV underscore PO, if you see it's blank, right? Because the PO was not perfect. Only the material log captured successfully, right? So you can log captured for material, this log successfully captured for A100, right? So that's the beauty of Singleton, right? It will always give you the same context. It will always give you the same object reference. So now onwards, whenever you are going to capture the log, this particular Singleton concept you can use in the various class in the same context, right? So once your program will start run, in the same session you have to capture everything, all the data, all the stuff, right? So Singleton will set up, Singleton will keep up your value at one place together, and whenever you want to perform any activity, you can capture the log in the same context, in the same program context everywhere. Is it clear for everyone? Yeah, you can see in SLG1, but here I am not doing anything, right? You have to create the object using SLG0 transaction. Okay. So some of you have attended the inner circle, right? There I showed you that how to create the, how to put the log in our last inner circle, right? So in the same way you have to go, or many of you would have not attended. So what I will do, maybe I will create one a separate video how to capture the log, and I will share with you. Okay, don't worry, that's simple. Or if you can simply Google it out. Okay, how to capture the log. Here, program to capture the log, and same program, just copy and paste it over there, do some tweaking, do some modification, program to capture. But hope you understood the concept of Singleton. Understanding the concept of Singleton is more important. Real-time use case also showed you. Programming part, you have to take care of yourself because you are already an ABAP, right? Program to capture the log in SAP ABAP. So SLG01, here you can see that many program you will get, just you go through and you will be able to understand. Okay, you can simply copy this, paste it in our SE38. See, SLG01, you will have to create the object. You can create sub object also. And once you will go to SLG1 transaction, there if you pass object and if you execute by giving the time and all, then it will show you all the log over here. Okay, is it clear for everyone? Are you able to understand the concept of Singleton class, how the Singleton class is useful, why we create, and where it can be used, right? Fine. Thank you for giving your response. And now if you have any query, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Hey, Pankaj.
Yeah, Venkat.
What are the other use cases for this Singleton apart from logger class?
Other use cases, see, whenever you realize, for example, let's suppose you have to create one, material. You have to create one material. Or maybe let's suppose if you have to perform some booking. Okay. So let's suppose you have a scenario like you are a company called Make My Trip. Okay. So here, let's suppose you have a company called Make My Trip, and this company is having tie-up with, they have installed your SAP software, let's suppose. Okay. However, this can be utilized in any of, this is a design pattern. This is valid for any kind of programming language. Okay. Just I am trying to more resonate with the SAP. So they have installed your SAP software, and for booking purpose, they are using your, you know, SAP stuff. So they asked a programmer to create an application to book the trip, right? So programmer is like willing to create the application in object oriented way. So he has created one class ZCL underscore booking, or here they can have one passenger information, right? They will require one more class that he has created to get the passenger information, and one more class to have the flight information, right? And then one more class you are having maybe ZCL finance information or finance, just to perform the transaction, ZCL transaction maybe. So in this particular context also, if you see that, right, your booking object should have the passenger information, your booking object should have the flight information, and your transaction information, your booking object should have the transaction information also, how much payment and all those things, everything is valid or not, right? All the financial detail, all the debit card, credit card, everything. This booking object should have the object information of all these things. Your booking object is the same object you are going to set here in this. So here you can have one set data. Here you can have the set data method. Here again you can have a set data method, and here also you can have the set data method. So you are going to create the object of ZCL booking, right? So ZCL booking and get singleton, all right? And here also you can have, okay. So now what basically we are doing over here, right? You are creating the object of booking class and setting the data for passenger, creating the object of booking class, setting the data for flight information, creating the object of booking class and setting the data of transaction. Imagine if you have the different object of booking class, will it work? It will not work, right? If everywhere if you have the different object of this booking class, then you will not be able to put the same context, right? You should have the same object everywhere. Same object should have the passengers, same object should have the flight information, same object should have the, and all those data once gathered here, book the ticket, book the ticket. So once all those data is there, then if all the information is intact, then you have to book. Did you got the idea what is,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell it, right?
Yeah.
Some another example you can see, this is very frequently used case. Once you will start working in some development kind of project where you have to do these things. And again, if it depends on your wish, if you want to use the object oriented or in the simple way, this is not necessary that you have to use the object oriented way of doing this booking stuff, but this is what recommended in such kind of scenario. If you use this, your application will be more maintainable, more robust. Even some people don't like the design pattern, that is also one thing, but like, this is what you have. This is the concept, and depends on like how do you want to use or not. It depends on your expertise, your team meeting. It's all everything your team lead decision, right? And yours decision. So can you please mute from your side, because some getting some background noise. Let me tell you some more use case over here. JetCL underscore, let's suppose the material you have, and you want to again create the different you know over. So you want to create the material for with a different view, right? You have the purchasing view, you have the purchasing view, you have another view. Tell me, what are the different view in material? Purchasing view, sales view, different view are there, right? And again, accounting view, right? Different views are there. So let's suppose if you want to create this material with this multiple view, right? Or if you want to extend this particular material, first you want to create and then you want to extend, right? So creation will happen with the basic data, and same material you have to extend. So basic data you are creating, and once material is created, you want to extend the same material, right? With the purchasing, sales and accounting view. Tell me, what is the best over here to use? Obviously Singleton, right? Everywhere you will create the ZCL material as a Singleton, and you can set the required parameter over there, and inside this ZCL underscore material you can have a method called create material or extend material. That method you can call it, and you can see again tomorrow if you have to create some more view, just simply go and create some more view, right? Your program, your development will be so robust, so nice. You don't have to mix and match anything. Tomorrow if you have some uh, some another view, there are lot many views in the material, right? Some another view, you can go and simply create the another view, and just you can make it intact, right? That's the beauty of this Singleton, that and it's going to help you a lot basically. Okay, it will not allow you to create by mistake also another object. Is it okay? Everyone got the idea about Singleton? Venkat,
Yeah, thank you.
welcome.
Yes, I think the idea
Yeah.
is clear here. This is
Mm.
Izzeddin. I think the idea is clear, but
Yeah.
in some cases
Mm.
we thought in the beginning you taught us that the static method
Mm-hmm.
also create one single object.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so uh, I know maybe this one is more flexible. To be honest, the singleton is more flexible, more general. But for the if we create a static method, it will create one object, and whenever we would like to have one place where we put all objects together, the static method I think will work, isn't it?
Right. Yes, yes. Everywhere you have to use the static in order to get that singleton object. Okay.
Yeah.
So here in this class, these are basically, class.
Yeah.
For basic view, you are creating one separate class. For purchasing view, for handling the data of purchasing view, you are creating the separate class. So in the separate class, you are doing all these things.
Okay.
Okay. And in this, again, you are having some method called set data. You are getting all the data and setting the data to the material object, same as what we have seen in the booking one, right?
Yeah.
So this is fine. Any question if you have, just go ahead and ask.
Gosh,
Uh-huh.
Oscar, in here, we
Mhm.
have to do this make my trick as assignment.
Assignment I will share with you. Okay.
Okay, but this is not right.
The previous assignment you were supposed to complete the one
No.
which.
No, I'm talking about this. So you are showing now my trick and see class booking and flight. Is that
No,
an
you
assignment?
have to assignment. I will give you the assignment
Okay.
from this only. There will be no different assignment. Same assignment. What you have to do that. Let me explain the assignment, and this assignment I will share through the mail also. The team will share with mail also. So assignment,
Okay.
what you have to do that.
Thank you.
Create one simple booking class, the one which I have just explained it over here, or material class. Anything is fine for me. Okay. So anything is fine for me. I'm taking the example of this booking class. Create one booking class over here. Set some attribute, like in passenger, you get some passenger ID, first name, last name, birth date, anything, age, all these things. You just get it from there. You got this, get this information. And in the flight information, you get the flight information, means company name, flight company. There will be some company, right? Like Jet Airways or
Career.
different yeah, carrier. Yes, carrier name, Indigo, anything, Emirates. Here you have the transaction information, debit card or credit card or net banking, whatever. Just to capture this information, carrier name. Okay. Like Jet Airways etc. Flight information. Just simple. I think this is fine. ID name. ID name, age, address. Fine. And this is the carrier name. You just capture it. You create three different classes. You have to create three different normal classes. You have to create, and you have to create the attributes. These all should be your global attributes. Okay. ID, name, age, address. Here also you create all these as a global attributes. Carrier name. If you want to put the connecting city, from maybe from London to Paris, or something like from Mumbai to Delhi. Yeah. So yes. So carrier name, and here the mode. This you can again have the global attribute, mode of payment, like that. You can make the name readable so that it will be easy for me to understand when you will complete the assignment and share. Okay. So mode of payment, and here so this is what you have to do. And here set data, you just create a method called set data, and in the set data create the object of JetCL booking. This is your singleton class. Okay. This is your singleton class. So just I'm giving you the idea how you are going to complete the assignment. So follow in the same step. Singleton class, make this as a singleton class, and you know that how to create the singleton class, and you should have one method in order to produce the object of the JetCL underscore booking. Okay. So create singleton, create one method called create singleton, and everywhere before here you can see that get singleton, call this method to get the object of this. And so I will, let me put the code also, data geo booking, like this you have to do. So like this you have to create the object, and you have to, once you are going to create the object, then inside this method So this code is actually you are writing inside the set data method. First you are creating the object, and then you are, you know, setting you are passing the carrier name, you know, and doing. So basically you are setting all the global attribute of the what, this JCL underscore booking object. And once you got the ID, name, address, age, once you got the carrier name, once you got the payment information in this, so all this information, ID, name, here you should have the public, you know, and private. Maybe you can have public and private, right? So it depends how you want to design it. Okay, so here you make all this carrier name, then mode of payment. So these are the different attributes you have to define it over here. So define these attributes, make public or private. Think what is going to be best for you. You can, at this moment, public or private, both will work fine. And once all this information is captured, all this information, once it's captured, then what you have to do in the book method, you have to book it. Okay, if all the information, so you create here one book method, book flight. You should have one book flight method, and inside this book flight method, if all the information you captured successfully, so so check if ID is not initial, name is not initial, address is not initial, right? Or if anything of one is initial, then tell that booking is not allowed. If all those information are there, right? If all those info are there, then just you type it over here, right? Booking can be made, and booking is now successful. You can update the database of the passenger with the date and time. So you don't have to create the database and all, just you understand the concept, you know how to create the database, how to put all those passenger information with the date and time when they want to travel, right? You can create the G table and you can put all those things. That I don't want. If you want, you can do, you are free to do that, right? If you have the time. Just here my focus is to make your concept clear. Okay, so you write here booking is, if all those data is there, you just booking is successful. So basically we will be updating the passenger database with the correct date and time, with the booking date, from those, with the flight name and everything, right? From where to where you want to travel, right? So just to type it over here, booking is successful if all the data is there, right? So just a kind of dummy code also I have given you. It will not take more than half an hour for you if you just do, or maybe initially it may take 1 hour also. However, it is a simple requirement, but for the people like a fresher kind of, like, you may take some time. So 1 hour if you just give, you will be able to complete this assignment. And this assignment is the important one. Try to complete this assignment. I will send this assignment through email also. Try to complete this assignment. Your singleton concept will be very much clear. Okay, and this is important. Singleton, at least you have to clear it. Okay, so we will be just not covering all the design pattern, only the important design pattern. Factory already covered. Singleton we are covering, and if you want to deep dive into the design pattern, I will be sharing from the SAP Tech Easy, which is my website, and here you can I will show you. I have that course basically. So I will give you that access, and there all the design pattern I have covered. So see here we are having the from here abstract factory. So from class number 15, then MVC, then facade. MVC, however, I will be discussing decorator, observer, composite, strategy, iterator and prototype, then solid principle, bridge design pattern, So these are the different design pattern I'm having already created. I'll be sharing with you. If you want to go learn, you can learn. However, not mandatory, Generally, Singleton factory, we are going to use mostly in the real time. But of course, from the learning point of view, you can learn. I will be sharing for you for some certain number of months. I will be giving the access, maybe 3 months or 6 months access you will be having, and you will be able to see that. Okay, fine. So anything else from your side, or I think we can stop our session over here.
So Pankaj, these attributes,
Sorry, yeah, please go ahead.
These attributes we have to create both in the JetCL passenger and JetCL booking class.
Yes, this common attribute should be here also, right?
Okay, and we have to pass.
See, the thing is that it again depends on your design. I just gave you idea. It is not mandatory 100%. Local also you can, local also. But if you create the local, how you will be able to do? That will be difficult, right? That will be difficult. So idea behind over here is, in the booking class, you have to capture all the information from the different classes, and you have to use those information inside the book method. How you do, you want to create the, as per my understanding, public need to be created. If you think that from local also you can do, you just go and do. The concept is that this should be the Singleton class. Okay. Because without Singleton, you will not be able to do. Just try without doing the Singleton, you will be not able to do. Because you will be having again the different objects, right?
Right.
So somewhere ID and name will come, somewhere address and age will come, somewhere career name and mode of payment will come. You should have all the data
at one place.
Yeah, at one place, right? That's the basic idea behind the Singleton.
Got it.
Okay. Fine then. Thank you very much for attending this session, and I hope you got the concept of Singleton and you will be able to give the answer if anyone asks you, or you will be able to implement this in your project as well. Please try to complete the assignment. I will be sharing, team will be sharing with you soon through the email. Just wait for some time and you will be getting this assignment. Thanks once again. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time with the same link.
Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.